Okay, let's get back to it. So, now that we have the hand techniques, we can now progress in a few areas. We can actually go out of order now and get any of the Beanstar pieces if we want. Obviously, I feel like it makes some amount of sense to just keep going here since we've already started this area, but I've definitely done playthroughs where I've literally gone and gotten the other ones first, just to see if I could. So the red Koopas, or whatever these are specifically called, I think they can actually resurrect as well. The elite troopies, I think they can actually resurrect other enemies, so that's really scary. And, okay, bye. But they just run right back in. Unfortunately, we can't just permanently beat them at a battle or anything. I'm also very low in stats. Again, one critical change for the Japanese version of the game is giving you heal blocks. Not being able to get a free heal can actually be very stressful in this game. I personally greatly prefer having heal blocks. Again, I really don't remember what my audio settings were. Again, there might be a case where, especially for like YouTube, like if these VODs are put together, where the game audio will suddenly be a different volume, just because I don't remember what it had set to. I thought it had set to 9, but it was at 10 when it booted up OBS today, and I don't know why. So yeah, very confused on that, but we'll keep trucking. Either way, it's not too much different, in all fairness. So yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. I've been having a pretty alright time. I've been starting to hyperfixate on K-pop again. I thought about talking about that since this is a pretty long, uninterrupted stretch of the game with no dialogue. So I might just talk about K-pop for a while, if that's fine. But yeah, I have quite the tale of getting into K-pop, actually. So, it actually goes back, like, early 2010s. I started getting into K-pop because friends really liked K-pop at the time. Like, they really were into, like, 2NE1, primarily. Meanwhile, I ended up getting into Girls' Generation somehow, despite them also, like, most of my friends at the time being into 2NE1. So I'm not entirely sure how that happened, but either way. I didn't listen, like, overly seriously in all fairness, but it was just, like, you know, casual listener, I would say. By the way, we also have upgraded Bros attacks now. We now have fire and lightning, or thunder-based, Bros attacks that we also can level up. I want to say the upgraded versions have some kind of debuff effect, but I don't remember what that is. Hi, C, thank you for the head pat. Oh, that's retaliating, cool. But yeah, these are actually very weak to electricity, so this should actually deal a lot of damage. This is actually our first AoE, too. So that's very good to finally have an AoE, because, like, nothing else is in this game. It's really weird how there just aren't any AoEs in this game at all, except that one move, basically. Again, something that I do think later games got better with. Or like multi-target moves, to be a little bit more precise. What did I just level up? Was it defense? I literally can't remember what I just leveled up with Mario. I'm like, yeah, it was defense. Again, trying not to use rewinds more than I have to. However, I did just want to quickly, like, which one was it? I don't remember. Oops. Wait, what? That is where we need to go, right? I don't think this is right, actually. I think there is something secret, or am I totally misremembering? It might be in the next water area, actually. So yeah, I wasn't like a super huge hardcore fan of Girls' Generation, in all fairness. Casual listener. So I got back into K-pop in the early 2010 or 2020s actually, 4th gen era, and then kind of fell out again, and just recently got back into it. So yeah, it's been a roller coaster. I've definitely been hyperfixating. I do a thing. There's a term for it, I guess. Because I've seen it brought up. I think like Silver's mentioned it a few times, and I can't remember what the term actually is. But I definitely have this problem, if you can call it a problem, of I hyperfixate on music and will listen to the same song on loop for like hours. So I've been doing that a lot the last few days, to be perfectly honest. It's been nice though, getting back into it a little bit. I haven't really taken like a lot of time to like sit down and listen to music, and I actually have done that a lot more in the past like year or so than I have in a long ass time. It's like, I feel like a lot of my favorite artists are already on record, to be fair, like, because they've come up in the past. This is not anything, okay. You can also swim, like, high up here. I actually don't know if there's a benefit in this area, but it might come in handy later. So yeah, current musical, like, fixation is I-dle, or G-I-dle, formerly G-I-dle. Because they just dropped new music and also just kind of renewed, period. Yeah, that's been fun, and I've also been I was like aware of their music before, but never delved too deep into it, but it's been actually nice taking a deeper dive into it with the current era. Now, the running sound can get stuck, so that's also very awkward sometimes. These are basically just upgraded versions of the Goombas from T-Valley, by the way. They attack the same way by creating like a smoke screen of sorts. Will this be a res? Nope. Okay. Again, I think it's these that can actually res fallen enemies. Actually, the spike damage badge wouldn't be a bad choice here. But oh well. These enemies are still pretty easy to take out. I'm not worried. Again, combat in this game in particular is very fast. Okay, these do indeed res. You can also do a full party heal that's less damage, but, you know, healing everybody. So these are very dangerous enemies. Again, lacking AoE can make this also a little bit tougher than it should be, just because, like, in theory, it'd be nice to not have to worry about, like, situations like this that are mostly brought about because we can only single target most things. Actually, testing, I forgot what the weaknesses of these are. Nope, not that. Okay. I also don't know if this counts for experience, like if you can just farm these infinitely for experience, or if there is a cap to how much you can actually... Oh, that's kind of an interesting play there. They immediately got their turn back, basically. Nice. Alright, again, we really don't need beans anymore, in all fairness. We only need who beans, which are the ones in, like, blocks, primarily. Actually, testing, are they immune to both hand attacks? Looks like it, okay. Damn. I don't know what the timing is on that, but you can actually steal items by using the advanced Swing Bros move, which is why I keep trying to use it. Because there is a rare drop from this area's boss that you can only get here, so if you want to get it, you have to get it, like, using either an item that we literally cannot get at this point because we do not have enough Hoo Beans, or you can get it from stealing, basically. There is another item, though, that you actually can't steal. It's literally impossible to steal, because... oh, shoot. That can happen, too. It can actually heal them. There's logic to a lot of them, like, obviously if an enemy is fire, you're not going to be able to deal fire damage to them. They're going to heal from it. Is it a game-breaking item? Not particularly. The game-breaking item in this game is in the shop, like normally. The Mush Badge AA is the most broken item in the game. Basically, it gives you an attack boost for every mushroom in your inventory. Reminder, there's like 4 types of mushrooms in this game. There's mushrooms, super mushrooms, ultra mushrooms, and max mushrooms. If you have 99 of each, your damage output is absurdly high, and you can basically one-shot like every boss in the game. Like straight up, it's that powerful. I thought about using it for this playthrough, however, I decided against it just because, what's the fun in that, to some extent? Yeah, our health is... we really don't need health if we're dodging everything. However, it's good to have, you know, for a rainy day. Yeah, I highly recommend looking up a video of the Mush Badge AA if you haven't seen it before, because it is, like, ridiculous how you can just sweep bosses with it. Yeah, this is, and again, if you do like this attack with Mush Badge, the damage fall off is actually way less than it would be normally. So basically the problem with the Advanced Bros hammer moves is you have damage fall off. So if you don't have if the damage fall off is capped to like 200 times what normally would be, you're still doing like way more damage than you're supposed to. So yeah, you can basically one-shot bosses, no prob. It's like really fascinating actually. Oh shoot, that's not correct. You hoard everything? Yeah, same. Speaking of which, I need to be less of a hoarder. I need to actually heal. And again, a lot of people who set up builds like that will just use nuts to heal, to avoid having the mushroom count go down. Again, we don't have a mush badge at the moment, so it doesn't matter at the current time. But it is good to keep in mind for later, I suppose. The other thing worth mentioning is because we don't need chuckle beans anymore, I might actually start skipping them for the sake of time. Just because there's literally no point to keep grabbing them when we already have, like, more than enough to make all of the rare trinks in the Starbean Cafe. Regarding the cafe, I'm basically saving it for once we get all the Hoo Beans we need, which is like 10 more. And we'll do all the drinks at once. I usually do it this way because my memory is garbage. So like, I will forget which ones I've done if I spread them out too much. So I like to do everything all at once. Alright, what the hell am I looking at here? Actually, there's a Hoo Bean. Yeah, the cutscenes are very good for the cafe. No, shoot, that's wrong. Oops. You can easily reset areas at least, so that's nice. Yeah, we gotta go down here first. Like so, and then across. There's an upper area. You actually don't know if you can get up there, though. Now time to electrocute Mario again. This is, like, very unpleasant. And yet, this is required. Alright, so now... we should have a bit of a path constructed, but not enough of the path. How the hell do you get that, actually? So, like... nope, not that. It's like I just was talking about not needing chuckle beans anymore, and I'm like, wait a minute, but how do I get that? And so now the curiosity is kicking in. Actually, I'm overthinking this, aren't I? Yeah, I was overthinking it. Alright, got that. In position. The other irony is I kinda got into K-pop because... or got back into it, to clarify, because of getting into J-pop, actually, and anime. Because recently, like, by recently I mean like 2021, a group I follow that did endings for their best known songs, probably, are from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood and Bleach. But a couple of the members posted like a dance video of a K-pop song, and that got me into this group for a while. And that kind of did lead me to the current group I'm fixating on, because there was a connection between a member of this group and a member of the current group I like. They're both in a Korean sitcom, which I actually watched because I liked one of the people in it. And then ended up also kind of liking the other person, so I kind of did have an awareness of I-dle before really getting into the music. Like, I listened to, like, Tomboy at the time. I didn't, like, obsess with it the way I currently am, though, in all fairness. Wait, actually, that is how that works, right? Also, by the way, Advanced Splash Bros has a unique effect. It allows you to hit spiked enemies. So that is different than the normal version. Even without any spiked badges, you can just straight up hit a spiked enemy that way. Yeah, the Thunder Bros attack did lower their defense, which is good. They do have some stats effects. I think the Fire brand might lower attack, but I may be wrong on that. It's actually been a bit since we put anything into power. Alright, that was worth it. 100% worth it. Yeah, one shot there, because we got a lucky hit. What else? In terms of other music, it's like I've mostly just been listening to, I mean, like right now I've mostly just been listening to I-dle. Again, it's mildly confusing because, you know, they were formerly I-dle, but they dropped the G. Also, it's worth noting that two of the members of I-dle were also part of KDA, which was the League of Legends, like, K-pop group they had. I never got into League, because I heard it was a not great environment to be polite about it. However, I did enjoy KDA, and that was also a very early K-pop experience of mine. Where the hell am I going here? This kind of loops, all of this loops around. This is just building the bridge. So we should be fine to do either, in whichever order. This part kind of sucks, actually. It's a timed section. I always botch this, though. So we'll have to see how this goes, because I usually screw it up. I've also noted on a couple occasions, it's kind of funny that of the members of I-dle, there's one I'm currently fixating on, partly because she had like a solo release earlier this year. Which would be Minnie. However, I kind of was like, I'm kind of surprised my favorite didn't end up being Myeon, because she was the one who voiced Ari for KDA as the you know, the Kumiho themed, you know, Snow Fox VTuber. It's like, there's an irony, and also Ari was the main reason I even wanted to get into League in the first place, straight up. I did not have much interest in the game, because again, the community is not great apparently, but my main interest in League was an alt for Ari that was based on the Girls' Generation music video for Genie. She even has an emote for it too, like straight up just the dance from that song she has as an emote. And yeah, that was like the extent of my interest in League, is like getting that outfit and that emote. But everything costs money in that game, so I never actually did it. I kind of lost track of which enemy was which. Basically, yeah, you have these like decoy fish enemies, and it's like you don't know which one is which. So you have to just kind of hope for the best, and they'll try to psych you out, basically. But like, one will be like a normal cheap sheep that won't actually attack you. the other will be like the land sharks or the skeleton sharks, which is actually pretty badass, honestly. Like, it's a very good design. And yeah, the shark enemies do poison, so that's not great. For Mario, he already just got over like food poisoning of sorts, so he's not having the best time. It is kind of interesting though, because I've just never been into MOBAs, period. The closest, I guess you could call this a MOBA, but the closest I ever got to being into a MOBA was probably, I guess, kind of like Overwatch is a MOBA in a way. Like, is it? I'm actually trying to think about that. This part is very frustrating, I find. So we'll have to see how this goes. We have 20 seconds to do this little sequence here of basically chaining blocks together. The timer does not reset, by the way, so we do have to hustle here. This is the hard part. You have to basically line it up just right, otherwise you'll hit a block and get stuck. So perfect. First try. I was actually not expecting to get that first try straight up, because I usually botch that at least a couple times. Hell yeah. On a merry way then. Now this should help us get to Hermit, so we can get the Beanstar piece. Also creates a nice little path back to where we just were, I'm pretty sure. I almost kind of want to incorporate something from, like, a K-pop group into my design. I have no clue what the hell I do, though. Oh, that fish is having a bad time, okay. It feels like there's always 2 of the skeleton fish and 1 of the cheap looking fish. Which actually makes it really easy to avoid them. Because it just kind of means that you always have like 2 that are like bad and 1 that's fine. If you ever got a pattern that was like 2 cheaps and 1 of the skeleton fish, I think that would actually be kind of more annoying to deal with in a way. This should be the cheap, by the way, unless I completely miscounted. Alright, there we go. They never even got to figure out what the other one was, but it was probably a cheap. Luigi's speed is very low. Let's try to fix that. Nice little bump at least. Again, stash does impact shop prices and crit rate, so that is helpful. And it doesn't level up on its own as much as the other stats. Also, because they always attack in like tandem like this, like their speed cycles are very interlinked, it's like very easy to figure this out, in theory, and yet I still have been watching it. I feel like despite turning down my mic a bit, I'm still coming in kind of loud for some reason. At least maybe I'm talking loud. Maybe I'm sitting closer to my mic. Maybe that's actually the problem. But I feel like I'm louder today than usual. Maybe my voice isn't as shot today for some reason. Ironically though, I've actually been thinking about trying to get better at music. Like, part of me wants to try singing at some time, like, try to get better at singing. Plus it'll also help with voice training, probably. So there's that double benefit, too. But it's been a consideration of mine for a bit, is to try to learn how to sing a little bit better. I've never really tried singing in much of a capacity at all. Normally because of, like, you know, being self-conscious about my voice, which is, you know, definitely a common experience, but like, this isn't even a trans thing. It's like, in general, people don't like hearing the sound of their own voice. This is kind of how it is, but... Ow. Also, by the way, with Swing Bros Advanced, I'm pretty sure even if you nail the action command, it's still only a chance of a rare drop. Like, it's not guaranteed that you'll get the item even if you do the input correctly. So that's also a problem. So yeah, I'm very curious to see how the stream sounds in post, like, as I go to edit, because, again, it just feels like my audio settings are off today. Again, I can't tell if I'm just talking louder and if the game was, like, set right and I just screwed it up or something. Like, I don't know what's happening. Like, maybe the game was quieter last time I just messed everything up for, consistency's sake. Mario did not land on the ledge for some reason. So, basically your max swimming height is determined from the max height that you start at. So, if you start higher up, you'll be able to swim higher. And that is a bean spot. Very sneaky. But we also have a little hidden alcove up here, if you actually get max altitude. Actually, it wouldn't be altitude, we're underwater. What would it be called? Depth? I feel like max depth would imply being lower, though. Alright, there are actually... how many paths here? Now we have the fun task of where the hell are the beans here? I'm just gonna look this up real quick. Looks like there are 3 blocks here. Looks like they kind of correspond to these, like, rocks, actually. So that's actually not that bad. I had the right idea, I think. And the other one should be above this rock. Voila! We need 5 more. We might actually end off on the cafe, actually. At the rate we're going, at least. Alright, we actually have to go around here. We can't go straight to the pipe, unfortunately. We got more enemies to fight, though. But yeah, I've kind of thought about it. Like, I've talked about this before. But I really like the aesthetic of a hanbok. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Just because I'm Korean doesn't mean I'm good at, like, the language or anything. I did not grow up there. But it's true. I think that'd be a really nice aesthetic. And someone actually did draw that already. There's Mika, unsurprisingly, but I also don't know, like, where she heard about it, because it was in a different, like, server that I brought it up. And yeah, I was born in Korea. I never actually spent much time there. You know, only 6 months in Korea before ending up in the US. So yeah, with the, you know, the name Yuna Lee, for example, I specifically wanted to pick a Korean name. I didn't want to, like... I wanted to kind of embrace this part of myself more, because it is also a part of myself I've kind of shoved to the side a bit, even if it's, you know... I don't know why, it's just kind of like I had an aversion to, like, Korean culture, probably because I was giving up, so it just kind of made me feel a little bit like... I don't know if bitter is the right word, or just, like, kind of abandoned, so I just kind of, like, wasn't super into Korean culture for the longest time, and ever since coming out, I've been kind of trying to, like, reconnect with that side of myself as well. Frankly, being trans now, the odds of being, like, welcome in South Korea are not great, so, my chances of actually going are not great, and also, I don't really want to, like, fly anywhere if I can help it, for other reasons. Like, truth be told, yeah, flying does not seem like, you know, my idea of a great time at the moment. Yeah, maybe someday I'll try to get to Korea. I did try to find out more about my, like, birth mom, specifically. Because my birth dad had already split long before I was born, if I'm being real. But I wasn't really able to find out too much, and I also got left on red, which I think was just a complete, like, you know, innocent mistake. but it was also kind of in the same era where I was like transitioning or starting to think about it. So I was like, maybe it's a good thing, because I don't think pursuing this with like the adoption agency I was, you know, adopted from would go well. Like being trans, I would basically have the boy mode for it, which would just be unpleasant. And even then, it's like I don't entirely know how my birth mother would take that kind of information, just because of how South Korea is. I mean, Korea in general, but again, South Korea is also somewhat not like progressive about that particular topic. So yeah, I almost wonder if it surprises people, because it's like I am Korean, but I'm also just culturally, I'm culturally not very Korean. Like the way I act probably doesn't like scream Korean to anybody. Sure. We're kind of up on the end of this area anyway, so we should probably like restock. And again, we're already back to 1,000 coins. It's very easy to farm in this game. But again, there's the irony of having a huge like weeb phase in the early 2000s, like 2010s, because of like anime and Pokemon and all that. So, I actually for a long time listened to Japanese music more than Korean music, which is very weird under the circumstances, but it's how it is sometimes. Anyway, that should take care of this area. I am going to save. Again, I don't care about the item that strongly. I'm gonna try for it, obviously, but if we don't get it, que sera sera. These are great passport photos. Just like actual passport photos. Anyway, this should be Hermes area. Does that feel? Hear me? Like the look of it? Oh, I got a good feel from that. Yes, I do. Huh? Who are you? Have you come to help me decorate too? Why, red clothes and a mustache even? That means... Could you be... Santa Claus? Oh no! Hermie, what is it? Oh wow, on closer inspection I see you have red clothes and a shiny mustache. Could you be? Wow, that jump! How? That is true, it's true! You're Mario of the Mushroom Kingdom! Stupendular! Mario of the Mushroom Kingdom is here! Party on! There's no time to be decorating! Wow, it's true, it's true! Can I touch your mustache? That jump, it's gloriful, grandular. Cannot wait to brag to everyone I know. This rules. Does the crab have a harem? That's a very good question. Oh, my decorations. Oh, huh? Oh, you must be the president of the Mario fan club? No, wait just a second. Green clothes, mustache. Hey, any chance that you're the famous brother who always gets left behind? Luigi? Oh yeah! Wow, are we lucky or what? How old are you? What's your sign? And your hat size? Okay, your waist? Favorite snack? Arrgh. The decorating stopped and it's all because of you. If you want to cause trouble, and you're stupid. Alright, boss time. I'm gonna go level 2. Again, we'll burn through BP very quickly this way. Damn it. Why am I so bad at this, actually? Ah, shoot. I forgot how this works. You can't actually disable the claws, by the way. It's not a bad strat, to be honest, because then you can't counterattack, obviously. I think he's also weak to fire, because you can set the tree on fire. How frustrating it is time to speed things up. So he'll gradually give himself speed buffs, which is very annoying to deal with. Damn it. Again, I just cannot get the timing of that down. For some reason, I'm just really struggling with that. Alright, that should do it. But then he'll try to heal. So to deal with him healing, you have to set the tree on fire. Like so. I don't know how this works actually, because he's a crab. This is a shell. When you join to my pretty decorations. Oh, well, that's it. No more stupids. It's like, that's what it does, is it just... what am I trying to say? It's gonna mess up the decorations. It's not so much about, you know, setting a tree on fire. Shoot. Yeah, I just can't get that timing today. I don't know why that crab runs by. I think it's just to signal how fast he's going, if anything. Again, if I don't get this, it's not the end of the world. Also, the poison damage on Mario is gonna hurt. 12 to 10 damage per turn is gonna stack up real fast. Yeah, no, that's very strict. I'm just gonna keep going. This might be the final hit, by the way. Now he's healing. I'm actually gonna toss an herb Mario's way next turn with Luigi. But we gotta keep him from healing first and foremost. Yeah, the poison damage is gonna be a problem, so, we have 16, we're fine. I always do both for some reason for certain attacks, just because I have a depth perception issues and don't know which one it's going for sometimes. Damn it. And yeah, this is a chance, by the way. This isn't a guarantee. Therefore, even if we actually get the action command, we might still not get the item. I'm just trying to get the action command one time, just to see if I can get it. But he's also being a pill and healing constantly. And again, later on, we will have an item that will just give us the rare drop. So we don't have to fight this. That is one benefit of actually going out of order and saving Hermit for later, is you can get enough Who Beans to get that rare item. Still too late, okay. So yeah, we're out of BP to do the level 2 version, unfortunately. So we'll try one more with the level 1 version, I guess. Yeah, I think it's just a distraction or to indicate how fast the attacks are going. Like, it's basically like a... It almost is like the Lackatoon Shy Guy says. Just to be an attack indicator, or like a timing indicator. Yeah, we'll just move on. Yeah, the damage drop-off is greatly helped by the Mush Badge, so that's the main reason that speeds everything up. Again, not a clean, particularly clean fight, because we're trying to get the item. Heck. Please excuse Hermit, he's a little kooky. Gee, I'm sorry, fellas. I guess we were in the wrong. Anywho, I'm sure you two must have had some reason for coming here. Huh? The bean thing on the shell? Well, whoop-de-doo, what's so important about that thing? Wow, did you hear that, Hermit? Is that though? Then I suppose I have no choice. You're so sad though. It's like we got the Beanstar, but we hurt the crab's feelings. We got a Beanstar piece, only 3 more to go. And after decorating things so well too. We tried so hard and got so far, but in the end it doesn't even matter. What, you're leaving already? I don't see why you can't stay and relax, personally. Superstars are busy people, I'm sure. If you're going back, this way should be a shortcut. Don't you have anything to replace the bean thing with? If you happen to find something in your travels, I really hope you bring it back here. So yeah, there is a sort of side quest to get a replacement for him. We need the upgraded hammer though. There's one more level of hammer. We don't have it yet, so we'll get that soonish. Alright, I figured there's something. Again, I swear I said earlier, like, oh, I'm not gonna worry about chuckle beans anymore. Proceeds to get them anyway, because I like being a perfectionist. Yeah, there's nothing here, huh? Alright, so we got a little bit of a branch here. Of what to do next, is what I mean. We can go spelunking, for one thing. For example, there are hidden caves all over Beaming Field, and they all have very interesting rare drops. In addition to that, we also have the actual intended path that we should go on. We also have these little flower arrangements that we will deal with later, probably. Actually, if we're right here, we might as well get this. Yeah, we are literally right where we need to be anyway, so... Hey, might as well. Though I think there is actually a dark rock somewhere, so like our actual ability to explore this area is a little bit limited, I think. There's also another Hoobine nearby-ish. Never mind, there's one very nearby. But there's one kind of nearby that I kind of missed. It's like behind a fence, and that's all I remember. I think it's actually on the top of this area. Yeah, remember how it was like, yeah, we're just gonna get the next Beanstar piece and I immediately meander? Yeah,